I haven't had the time to play, let alone upload anything lately, but I saw this trailer drop today for Silent Hill 2, and I knew I had to post something about it right away. After the release of Silent Hill Downpour in 2012, after 10 long years, we have definitive proof that there will be another Silent Hill game. It's not just backroom whispers and hints at them working on something. Now we know for sure we're getting a Silent Hill 2 remake. And here's the trailer for it. I'm going to play the whole thing and then break it down for you, all my thoughts, as a Silent Hill veteran. And by veteran, I mean I've been obsessing over this series since about the year 2000. So let's take a look.
Could she really be here, waiting for me? Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill.
I know what you are. I know why I needed you. But it's all over now. I don't need you anymore. I'm ready. Mary?
Are you finding yourself short of breath from excited hyperventilation? Because I sure as hell am. Holy shit! I can't tell you the last time I felt this level of emotion over a video game release. Silent Hill is probably my favorite game of all time, and Silent Hill 2 is my favorite of the series, which actually makes this remake a little horrifying for me. I absolutely hated what Square did to Final Fantasy VII, and while the Resident Evil 2 remake was better, there were still some major changes for the worse, like the fact that in the first playthrough of the game, Mr. X is chasing you everywhere you go. It definitely didn't make the game more fun, that's for sure. But I don't want to get off track. My point is that this game has an immense legacy to live up to. Will they actually keep the game as it was and just improve the graphics? Or perhaps improve upon the story itself or the game itself? Or are they just going to completely ruin it? Before I get into this, a big warning, there are spoilers here. I'm expecting most people watching this have already played the original Silent Hill 2 and are already going to know most of this. So the first thing that catches my attention is that James Sunderland doesn't look much like James at all. I hate to be a stickler, but the old James had softer features as well as a softer voice.
No, my late wife. I can't believe it. You could be her twin.
This guy has a harsh jawline with a more pronounced nose, and he has smaller eyes compared to the original model. I'd say if I had to pick one thing I don't like about this trailer right off the bat, it's how James looks. He has the same outfit, does the same things, but with a gravelly, deep voice and little to no resemblance to the original James Sunderland.
Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago.
Part of what made James Sunderland so effective was that he was disarming as a character. He came off like a decent guy, like some good Samaritan, telling Eddie, you can't just kill someone because of the way they look at you, and trying to help everyone along his journey to find his wife. And on top of that, he always comes off as clueless, like he has no idea what's going on. It's what made that zinger in room 312 all the more impressive. I don't know if this new version of James can pull that off, but I guess we'll see, because I'm definitely going to give it a chance. One possibility is that they might have had an original intent to make the character look more Japanese, but perhaps couldn't with the technology of the time. The more I look at the model, the more I see very Japanese features, perhaps with bleached hair. But then again, even his stubble appears to be light in this one shot, so who knows, maybe I'm off base here. But I've gotta say, I love how they lined this scene up exactly as it was from the original game. I really hope this is a hint to how loyal they will stay to that game, because many of the scenes are just as they were. It's like looking at a replicate with updated graphics, which is pretty freaking awesome. I also love how they came right out and showcased both Masahiro Ito for art and creature design, as well as Akira Yamaoka for the amazing soundtrack. This tells me that they're hedging their bets on the old fans returning for these original creators. I'm not familiar with the studio creating the game, Blooper team, but here's hoping they do a good job. One very odd thing about this trailer, though, is the narrative being told by James while we watch some of the old familiar scenes play out. He says, I know what you are, I know why I needed you, but it's all over now. I don't need you anymore, I'm ready. Now, for those of us who've played the game, it seems pretty obvious he's talking about Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head basically served as a construct in James' mind that continually served him punishment for killing his wife, Mary. James is forced to watch Maria, who's kind of like the hot Mary replacement, die at Pyramid Head's hands multiple times throughout the game, and so of all the characters James could be talking about here, Pyramid Head seems like the most likely choice. I know what you are, I know why I needed you, I don't need you anymore, I'm ready to face what I've done. Seems about right, right? What doesn't make sense, though, is that James doesn't know any of this until the end of the game. Why would they make a trailer talking about things he wouldn't possibly know until the end? Are they trying to play to veteran Silent Hill fans, or are they perhaps going to give the story a different spin? It seems they did change some of the scenes up slightly, like where James first meets Maria. It was originally by a fence overlook in the park, and now looks to be in a gazebo. I don't have any major issues with this so long as they keep the characters close enough to who they were. I think the most exciting thing is going to be seeing how all of the characters look. Like Angela, Eddie, Maria, I want to see their faces, and I really hope that they don't stray too far like they did with James, because I think it's going to be a bit weird if everybody looks different. One thing I was so happy about was to hear a slightly new version of Laura's theme playing in the background. Although I would have liked it to be more prevalent with less ambience and dialogue, Laura's theme was probably one of the best songs I've ever heard in a video game, and I would have liked to see it shown off more. The song was brilliant. Whew, man. I'm sure I'll find other things to talk about as time sets in, but I am just so shocked, so blown away that we're getting a new Silent Hill. I thought Konami was going to hold my favorite title hostage for another 10 years, using it for more pachinko parlor machines and never give me anything. You might think this sounds dramatic, But it's felt almost like having a dear beloved family member get kidnapped and held away from you, and I never knew if they'd ever come back, all the way knowing they were still out there in the world somewhere, but all I had left to remember them by were some old home movies that played the same stories over and over. Now, they better not fuck it up.